live.
We are live. I know we're definitely live on Facebook, but a lot of people may not know we are also live on YouTube as well. For I think the first time. This may be the first time the Purple Code is live on YouTube, but it's a special occasion, guys. It's our annual mock draft war room. This is where our willing participants, Mike, Rick, myself, we all play a different character in the war room. Today, I will be playing head coach Kevin O'Connell. Mike will be playing defensive coordinator Ed Bonito. And Rick, who is currently on the road right now, will be playing new general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. But before we get down to things, Mike, Rick, how you guys doing? Draft is just a couple days away. How we doing, Mike? I'll start with you.
No, I'm excited. It's going to be a fun time, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a step in the next direction for this new regime to push us forward.
Definitely. Rick, how you doing? You're on the road right now, but you're locked in. I know you're ready.
That's right. It's a new year. It's a new era. It's new Vikings football. We're under a new regime, so we'll try to play the characters according to this new culture, SK.
Yes, it's exciting. It was a little cringy at first because half the people like Zimmer, other half, but we're not here to talk about that. We're under some new guidance, some positive energy, and I'm loving it so far. So a little bit before we get down to things, you guys may notice things being a little bit different with our setup, and I think you're going to enjoy it because we're actually going to flash some of your guys' comments on the screen and address them throughout the draft. Some of your draft day trade ideas, possibly. We may incorporate some, maybe. But definitely comment so we can get them out there, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Facebook. We are going to show you some love. So let's get down to things. And today we will be using the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator here. I know some people have certain favorites that they like to use, but tonight we're just going to use PFF's mock draft simulator. So here we go. Obviously, the Minnesota Vikings here drafting at 12. We are going to slow it down so we're able to make trades if need be throughout the draft, or whether we need to trade up, trade down. So we're going to take our time. So as we kick things off, guys, we're ready to go. We're going to do all 7 rounds. And if time permits and we get through the first one quick, we might do a second one, but we'll see, guys. So here we go. We're going to get in character for you guys. We're kicking it off. This is the 2022 TPC Minnesota Vikings mock draft live. Let's go.
Well, hello, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the TCO Performance Center in Eagan. This is the war room. This room was designed specifically for this night. I hope everybody's excited. We got our scouting department over here. We got our analytics department also joining us. Of course, we have the coaching staff. And tonight is a very important night for the organization as we're starting the 2022 season under all the things that we have talked about in terms of a new culture, a new way of seeing the game, and a new way to try to look for a championship for this organization. So as the general manager, I want to welcome you, and let's get to work.
Thank you, Kwesi. This is the head coach, Kevin O'Connell here, guys. Welcome in. We are still doing this thing virtually this year. Hopefully this will be the last year we are doing it virtually, but let's get through it and let's turn this franchise around, guys. I do have Ed Bonito in here with us on the stream. How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing good. Look, guys, we got to build this defense up, okay? It needs some help.
Yes, I know we got to look at all angles here. I know Kwesi has actually mentioned trading up in this draft, so look, I think we're open to all options here, but let's kick things off. It looks like we're about to start here. Jaguars about to be on the clock. I don't think we plan on trading up. They take Hutchinson with the number 1 pick. Sauce goes number 2, guys. Sauce went number 2. Is there anything, Kwesi, that you want to consider moving up in this draft? Because I know we want to get a corner here. That's our number 1 need in this draft.
Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised, guys, that Gardner went second. We had him as our best corner on the board. I know Stingley, there was a lot of buzz around him, but the injury history, I think, just eventually made Gardner be the number 1 choice. So no surprises there.
All right, so no contact in Houston here. I think we're good, letting them make their pick, right?
Yeah, no. I don't think we're looking to move up, guys. I think we're just gonna stay put and see how it evolves.
And there goes Stingley to the Jets there with the 4th pick. So the top 2 corners already off the board here. Anything we want to do here? We're just gonna let it play out, Kwesi. Ed, I know you're I know you're upset about missing out on those 2 top corners.
Yeah. I mean, I'm upset. I'm not surprised. I think we should just stay put. I don't want to move up. If anything, we'll see what's gonna land at 12, and then we make decisions there.
All right, let's see.
I agree.
Giants on the clock. They go Thibodeau with the 5th pick. Trayvon Walker with the 6th going to the Panthers. Another tackle off the board. Another one to the Falcons. There goes Hamilton. So our top 3 defensive players there looks like they're off the board. It's looking good for my offense. A lot of defense off the board. There goes the first wide receiver. There goes the first quarterback. All right, we're on the clock, guys. Kwesi, what are we looking at here?
Okay, so I didn't bring my glasses today, so please somebody tell me what the board reads.
All right, so let me just scroll down here. It looks like we got Karlaftis out of Purdue, the edge. We do have McDuffie still on the board there. If we're looking at receiver, which I've been looking at all off season, I want to add some more threats for Kirk there. That would be nice. We got Drake London and Garrett Wilson available, and also a Devin Lloyd if we want to bolster that linebacker core. Ed, I know you were talking about that as well. And if we want to address the center position, I know Bradbury was a part of the last regiment. It hasn't been looking good, so we do got Linderbaum there as well.
Well, I don't know how you guys see it, but I see all of our top targets not available anymore. I think some of these players that are on the board are players that perhaps are not going to hold the value of a 12th pick. Ed, how are you feeling about McDuffie in terms of his transition into the NFL? Is he going to be able to be an outside corner?
I'm not feeling it, Kwesi. I honestly think our best evaluation here is, I know I'm the defensive guy, but I think we can get one of these teams to move up potentially for a quarterback. Pickett's still on board. Something to think about.
It does look like we have some trade offers, some calls that we have here. It looks like the Chargers have called. They want to work out a trade for the 17th pick. How does moving back to 17th look like? Outside of the Chargers, the next available pick will be 21st, and that'd be with New England.
I like that 17. So they're offering the trade. What are they offering, Kevin?
It looks like trying to work something out with them here. So we can, it looks like they're damn near giving up a lot of their picks. But outside of 17, their next available pick is at 79. So that doesn't do much for us in the second round there.
Well, what about 2023? What's their offer there?
Let me see here. They won't offer their first. They will offer their second with the 17. Let's see if I can get the 79 too. They don't want to give us a 79. They will give us 123 and more than likely 160. So for the 12th overall pick, they'll give us 17, 123, and 160 in this year's draft. And then their second round pick in next year's draft, which probably be late 20s. Late round.
What if we offer them a late round in this 2022?
Late round for pick 79?
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. If I offer them 156 and 191, it's possible they may accept that, but that's for 1779 in the second round next year. Should we try that?
I think I personally, guys.
Why don't you offer them just one? Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
I was just gonna say, guys, I'll be honest. I think we need to get into the top 100 again. Because we got to build up our defense. We need help. So we got to build our depth. And I think getting 79 would be a key piece to the building blocks that we need.
I can still look what New England can offer if we move back to 21. Do you think that's moving back a little too far?
No, I would
okay
take
with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, let's see what New England can offer us. So they have the 21, the 54, and the 85th pick in this year's draft. So let's do this here. Let's see what we can get. So 21, 54, and 85, more than likely we'll get this trade done just for the 12th overall pick. 21, 54, and 85. Now,
I think we should try that.
Do you want me to see if we can grab their first rounder possibly next year?
I think it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, they're not trying to give up their first rounder. So 21, 54, and 85 for the 12th pick. Does that sound good?
That sounds good to me. I don't know. What do you think, Ed?
I think, guys, this is a sweet spot to get the second tier of the cornerbacks. And I think we're in a good spot. Let's attack it.
Yeah, I also think that gives us the option to trade back up late in the first round or early in the second round still as well. So that gives us some flexibility there. So let's go ahead and offer this trade, see if it goes through. Goes through, we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and resume this draft and see who they take. Looks like they need a receiver, and they go Garrett Wilson. Trent McDuffie just came off the board to Houston. So any moves we want to make here? Let me look at some of these comments. How we feeling so far, guys? McDuffie off the board.
I'll be honest, as the defensive coordinator, I was not high on him. I don't like his length. I think we need some physical presence to our defense, and I don't think he brings that enough.
I agree, Ed. I was never convinced that he could transition into an outside corner in the NFL. I agree with you.
All right, so now Baltimore is on the clock here. See who they go with. They go Devin Lloyd, linebacker. Philly's on the clock. They go Drake London, another receiver off the board. Another one to the Saints, Chris Olave. I was hoping one of those guys would fall to 21, but that's fine. Trayvon Burks is still on the board, unless he's picked here.
One more thing to consider. One more thing to consider, having number 21, we're going to be picking right ahead of the Green Bay Packers.
That's always
That's a great
nice.
point, Quincy.
That's always nice. All right, Philly back on the clock. Jordan Davis was just picked by the Chargers. That would have been nice there at 21 as well. Devontae Wyatt to the Eagles. Karlaftis to the Saints. Linderbaum to the Steelers. All right. See, we got on the board. We have Nakobe Dean on the board. We have a Skye Moore, which I know a lot of us are high on. Andrew Booth Jr., which I know some people had us mocked to drafting him. I like him. He kind of reminds me of almost not a Winfield, but I like the way he comes up and tackles. So Andrew Booth might be possible there. If we want to address that guard or center position, Zion Johnson is waiting right there as well. How you guys feeling?
Well, where is how far we would go back to select the Florida corner?
Elam. I'm looking at Elam right now. He's ranked 29th. There's about looks like about 6 to 7 guys ahead of him right now. With a corner.
Ed, how you feel about that corner, Elam from Florida?
I'll be honest. I'll be honest, guys. I think this is our opportunity. I'm going to bang the table here for Andrew Booth, the cornerback out of Clemson. I think he gives us the depth we need, and it starts our defense off right, and that's what we need.
All right, but tell me, how is he a better prospect than Elam from Florida? I just need to hear from him.
I feel like Elam personally is a guy who is not as good in the zone, and I think we're going to play a lot of zone in our defense. We're very relying on our edges to give our corners the support they need. And I think Booth all around as a corner, because his flexibility in zone and press, I think he's the pick here. I think we should go and take Andrew Booth and let him grow a little bit behind Patrick Peterson and see if he can grab the cornerback 2 spot from Dantzler once we get to camp.
Kevin, how do you feel about that? I feel like Elam is a good press man coverage type corner. Versus the zone, like Ed says. I just want to make sure that we select. If we're gonna go corner here, I just want to make sure that we select the right guy.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to be looking for more of that type of corner. I want a guy that's gonna sit back and attack, not necessarily man up. We're gonna go for some turnovers this year. So I think Andrew Booth is definitely the right pick here if we don't trade down. I'm right there with Ed. I say we take Andrew right here.
Okay, then I'll support the two of you. If we go corner, I just want to make sure that we pick the right guy. And if you feel like Booth is that player, we got the scouting report here, and it goes in line to what Ed was mentioning. So I'm okay with Booth being the pick.
All right, let's go with Booth. Let's make the pick. And he is a Minnesota Viking. So first, for the Minnesota Vikings goes Andrew Booth Jr., corner out of Clemson. Write it down, mark it down, and let's continue with this draft. Now, let's remember, guys, we recouped an extra 2nd and 3rd round pick. If we need to move up at the end of this 1st round, we still can. Do we see anybody on this board that we like necessarily?
I got a question, Kev. Is Jermaine Johnson still available at this point in time?
Jermaine Johnson is still available. He is still available, Ed, and I hear you talking. I hear you talking here.
Well, if Ed, if what you're thinking is going on for an edge rusher, we got some really good scouting reports here on I'm not gonna pronounce his name right, but Boye Matt from Minnesota.
Local boy.
What are your thoughts on him, Ed?
For Mafe, guys, I feel like we can get into day 2. And I don't feel we need to get into the back end of the first round for Mafe personally. If we could give up less assets and get a guy, if you guys are feel stronger about Boye Mafe, personally, I would be okay with that. I have high grades on both. They're very similar. That's my opinion.
So if you have them similar, Ed, are you banging your hand on the table for Johnson? Or are you good with the youngster from Minnesota?
I'm extremely open. I feel like if we got Boye Mafe, be a tremendous start to the defense, as I talked about prior to the draft beginning, a couple hours ago. I like where we stand, and if we can double dip either if it's Mafe or Johnson, I would be extremely happy with that.
Okay, I think we should let this play out, and you never know, man. You never know. He could slip a little bit to where we don't have to go very high to grab him.
I agree. I think we gotta sit tight a little bit, but I like what Ed is thinking. I
just
believe
went
that
to Buffalo.
Is that Johnson or Mafe?
Johnson just went to Buffalo.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. We got Mafe to fall back on if that's the route we're gonna go.
All right, Titans on the clock. They go. Elam goes to the Titans. Bucks with a tackle. Green Bay bolstering that offensive line. Kobe Dean to the Chiefs. Treylon Burks to the Chiefs. So there goes it looks kind of like the top tier of wide receivers off the board there. Bengals get seen, the safety. All right, so we're starting the second round here, guys. Lions on the clock now. We have the 46th pick, so we're up in about 12 picks here. Any moves we want to do at the top of the second? Trying to see if I can pull up.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Mafe, see where he's at.
All right.
I mean, at some point, I don't know that he's going to make it to 46, Ed. If we're going to make a move on Mafe, we're going to have to.
I would agree, Quessy. I don't think he's going to fall to 46, and I think we're getting in the striking distance where we got to make that move where we're going to go and get our guy.
Okay, so we should probably then, try to see if we can move up.
I would agree.
Let's see here. It's not allowing me to pull up the available guys for some reason. So let me see here. Let's see what the Jets want for this 35th. They also have the 38th, so they might be willing to give up this 35th pick. Obviously, the 46th. And so for the 35th pick, if we offer 46, 156, and 184, more than likely they'll take it.
I'm all over that. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I think if this is the guy that we want in Mafe, and that's going to complete, the what we're looking for to get this defense to where we want it to be, I'm okay with doing that.
Yeah, that puts us right ahead of the Giants, who are looking for an edge, I believe. So I think that would be a good spot there. What do you think, Ed?
I think, guys, we are in agreement here, and it's all about collaboration, and I love it.
All right, let's make the pick there. Make the trade. They accepted it. Let's resume the draft. Lions got to make their pick, and they go Kenny Pickett, quarterback. Side note there, Skye Moore is still on the board. And I don't see Mafe until a little bit further down the board, which he may even be available at 54, which is our next pick after this. But he's ranked 47th in this draft. So I know we're talking about Mafe, but it looks like it may be a while before he gets picked up.
I personally think, Kev, I respect your opinion, but I feel like if we get to Q, we're going to lose out on our guy. And I've been in a lot of teams, been around the block many, many years. I feel like we just got to go and get our guy.
What are you thinking, Quasi? I know you're the analytics guy. You like to play with the numbers here a little bit. It looks like we may have some room to play with. Do you think we should take that risk? We have a Skye Moore here who probably should have been drafted at the end of the first round there. At a receiver spot that we can really bolster this wide receiver unit and possibly make this offense a top 5, top 3 unit. What are you thinking? Oh, is Quasi not with me?
Can you hear me?
There we go. I hear you now, Quasi.
Okay, please run it by me again. Did we select on 35 yet?
No, we didn't select on 35. We're still here at 35, but Mafe is obviously still available, but we got some ways until he's possibly being picked here, and we still got a Jabba who we can possibly take a chance on there at 54, which is our next pick. So we could possibly have Mafe and or a Jabba sitting there at 54, as well as grabbing another receiver and bolstering this offense and making this receiving core, top 3 in the league.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say that we get our defense situated. That was a priority for us coming in. When we got to Minnesota here, get that defense to be a top 15 unit. I think if Boye Mafe is the guy that we want, and he's gonna be foundation of what we're trying to build here, I think we got to go with Mafe now.
We're going Mafe. All right, I think it may be a little bit of a reach. Maybe a little bit of a reach. Maybe we can trade down a couple picks.
Well, I mean, where is he ranked?
He's ranked at 47. We're sitting at 35 here. Now the next available pick that's up for trade is Seattle at 40.
Ed, what are your thoughts? So that's 11 picks away or 12 picks away.
I honestly said, Quessy, earlier that we shouldn't get too cute. I think we got to just attack the board, get it done, and build this defense. And I'll do the rest myself, and we'll go from there.
All right, Kevin, please. Once again, I did not bring my glasses, so please, can you run me the 10 best players available on the board right now?
10 plus. Let me see. Let me go back here. I don't want to trade anymore. Draft a player. All right. It goes Skye Moore, receiver out of Western Michigan, Travis Jones, defensive lineman, George Pickens, wide receiver out of Georgia, Jalen Petrie, cornerback out of Baylor, Sam Howell, quarterback North Carolina, Leo Channel, linebacker out of Wisconsin, Nick Bonito, edge rusher out of Oklahoma, Laquan Brisker, safety out of Penn State, Desmond Ritter, quarterback out of Cincinnati, Drake Jackson, edge out of USC, Josh Pascal, edge out of Kentucky, and Quay Walker, linebacker out of Georgia, are all players available before Mafe.
Okay, so the only 2 players that I would say are worth considering selecting over Mafe based on what we're trying to do in terms of defense are Leo Chanel and Ed Bonito from Oklahoma. One being an edge and the other one being a linebacker that is very, very good on the blitz on the man blitz. I think those two players are worth a conversation before we make this decision. Ed, what are your thoughts on those specific two players?
Well, I really like Chanel as well, out of Wisconsin. Personally, I'm higher on Mafe than Bonito. I feel like we, respectively, can get Bonito at 56 if we wanted to change it up. But if we're going to go against the grain here and not take Mafe, I would feel comfortable with taking Chanel here. But I do not want Bonito. I feel like he'll fall down the board and we could scoop him up later if we wanted to go edge then.
Okay. So Ed, if he was down to Mafe and Chanel,
I would say Chanel. I would give the pass with you guys to Chanel. Absolutely. I'm more than okay with that.
Okay, so do you want to go Chanel here and then see if Mafe is available at 54? And if he's not, we can go with Jabo and maybe open up some other options.
And the other option is we can try to trade up again. But I would say that I'm leaning towards. I think that's a good move. I think Chanel is a guy that we cannot pass by, and we might end up with Chanel and Mafe. So
very true. So I think Chanel's the choice here.
I think after having the conversations and again, doing this thing in a collaborative type of approach, I just want to make sure that Ed was convinced on what we're doing here. But I think Chanel, we cannot pass up on him.
Yep, let's go with it. All right, Leo Chanel, second round pick for the Minnesota Vikings. Giants go with Jabo. A Jabo off the board. So Mafe is still available, but it looks like somebody took a chance on a Jabo. We got 17 picks till our next one. Desmond Ridder goes to the Texans. Pickens to the Jets. Skye Moore to the Bears. Howell to the Seahawks. Travis Jones to the Seahawks. Mafe to the Colts. So Mafe and Ajabo are off the board there. So our two guys that we're hoping on are off the board. Got about 10 picks to go until our next one. Petrie to the Falcons. Dotson to the Browns. Gordon to the Ravens. Quay Walker to the Jets. Breece Hall to the Washington Commanders. Christian Watson to the Bears. Matt Corral to the Saints. Nick Bonito to the Chiefs. Jaquan Brisker to the Eagles. Pascal to the Steelers. And the Green Bay Packers draft a running back, Kenneth Walker, out of Michigan State. But here we go. Pick 54. We're on the clock now. Let me make sure we're all in here. Yes, we are. So our top 10 left on the board. Drake Jackson, edge out of USC, is still available. We already got our linebacker. We don't need a tackle. The next edge available is Kingsley Enig-Bear from South Carolina. We have receiver Jalen Tolbert from South Alabama. Roger McCreary out of Auburn. Trey McBride. I know we need to start thinking about the tight end position. I know we have Herb coming back, but we don't know how he's going to bounce back off that injury. We are going to be missing. I think we do need to consider McBride here. Nate Cross, safety out of Maryland. Let's see here. Guard Dylan Parham out of Memphis. So I think those would be our top guys there, but it looks like we can wait for Parham possibly. And
okay, so we pick 54. What's the next one?
77.
And Parham is rated where?
Parham is all the way down at 67. We're at 54
Okay,
right now.
so right now I would say the two players that I'm looking at here are Kingsley from South Carolina and Parham from Memphis. So I guess I'll go to you, Kevin. What are your thoughts on Parham, and what are your thoughts around Kingsley?
I like Parham. I'll let Ed speak on Kingsley a little bit. I like Parham, but I think we can wait to grab him and possibly trade up because we do have the 85th pick as well after the 77th, and after that we have 191. So I think we have some flexibility to get up, maybe in the mid to late 60s to possibly grab him. I think we need to consider Trey McBride here. I think we need to address that tight end position. I don't know how well Irv is going to bounce back off that injury, and if Irv isn't available, I mean, we got grocery store baggers as our backup tight ends. I think we need to address that somewhat down the line in the draft, if not through free agency. So I think, to be honest with you, I'm going to have to kind of put my foot down here. Not my foot down, but I'm going to bang my fist like Ed did. Of at least considering the tight end here and Trey McBride. But I also fine with taking an edge here. I know we need one.
So Ed, thoughts on Kingsley from South Carolina?
I like Kingsley, and I think he'd be a good pick. But personally, for me, I feel best player available is Drake Jackson out of USC at the edge.
Yeah, he's also there.
Okay, so
number one available.
So if he came down to the edges, you like Jackson better than Kingsley?
Yes, Quessy.
Well, I say, I hear your concern, Kevin, on the tight end position. Although I don't think that being a premium position, number one and second. We don't know exactly how Irv is going to come back from his injury. However, I feel like, again, I'm just going to go back to my comment around solidifying that defense. And I think if we go Booth, Chanel, and Jackson, I think Ed is probably going to have all the tools that he needs to do what he needs to do in 2022.
Okay, so do you want to go Jackson here?
I think we should go Jackson here, and then we shift the focus on the offense, specifically on that tight end position and perhaps the guard or the center.
Okay, I'm here for that. Let's go Jackson. Drake Jackson out of USC. Cardinals take McCreary. Cowboys take Abraham Lucas. Logan Hall to the Bills. Troy Anderson to the Falcons. Packers on the clock. They take Trey McBride. Buccaneers, Chad Muma. San Francisco 49ers, Taylor Britt. DeMarvin Leal. Mechie. I believe that was one of our guys, Nick Cross. I like Nick Cross. Another tight end off the board there, Greg DeLute. We're up in about 7 picks, guys. Jalen Tolbert off the board. Kirby Joseph. Kennard. Cameron Thomas, another edge off. Calvin Austin, receiver off the board. Dylan Parham to the Falcons off the board. Kingsley off the board to the Ravens right before us. And that leaves us with our best available, We have a tackle, Jamari Saylor from Georgia, Carson Strong, Nevada quarterback, Marcus Jones, quarterback out of Houston, Brian Cook, safety out of Cincinnati, Kellen Deitch, tackle out of Arizona State, Donovan West, center out of Arizona State, Kyle Phillips, wide receiver out of UCLA, who I'm really high on, actually. I like. Alex Wright, edge out of UAB. Perrion Winfrey, defensive lineman out of Oklahoma. And Cole Strange, forward out of Chattanooga. And then tackle Matt Mitchell out of Louisiana.
All right, so there, we lost Parnham, but did we lose a tight end as well?
We did lose the tight end. We lost the 2 top tight ends there. But I think our next best available pick as far as the offensive side of the ball goes would be either like I said, I'm high on Kyle Phillip. I like that. He's a guy that's almost a raw talent, but I think he fit really well into our wide receiver room out of UCLA. And then we also got Cole Strange, guard out of Chattanooga. I think would also be a good piece to have in that offensive line room. I think he's going to challenge that right guard spot and that center spot as well. I know you spoke about Cole Strange earlier on in the offseason, Quake. What do you guys think?
Well, I do want to throw in some quick advice here, Kevin and Kwesi. And, I know the draft process has been very long and, some things slip through the cracks, but I watched a lot of Alabama tape and I've realized that Jamari Saylor can play all 5 positions along the offensive line. He's got a lot of talent. He's a big man. And accidentally, by watching so much Alabama tape, I've noticed he's a very strong, powerful blocker.
Okay, looks like we got a little report on him. Says right
is he a powerful blocker for the run or pass blocker, Ed?
Says here, Saylor played all over the Bulldogs offensive line in his career, but he's firmly an interior lineman in the NFL. He has some of the strongest hands in pass protection in the class and allowed only 4 pressures in 2021. I think our defensive coordinator made our pick for us, Kwesi.
Well, I was about to ask if it was a pass protection or run block.
It doesn't.
So it sounds like he's a really
He's a good pass blocker.
Blocker, yes. Very good pass blocker.
And he's played center as well.
Yeah. He's played every position along the offensive line in Georgia.
It says he's firmly an interior offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the center for Arizona?
I'm not too high on him. I'm Pac-12. I'm not too high on Pac-12 offensive linemen in general. Call me biased, call me what you will. But I'm cool on Arizona State offensive lineman Donovan West. Kellen Deitch, tackle. We don't need a tackle. We got 2 staples on each end. Again, I think Ed brought it up. That may be the obvious pick. And again, Kyle Phillips is big. I think he may be available at 85 possibly. So
yeah, I think Ed just helped us with our pick here, Kevin.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I think we should go Jamari Saylor right here. All right, let's make the pick. And we're good. Browns are on the clock now. They take wide receiver Alec Pierce. Sam Williams to the Chargers. Perrion Winfrey to the Texans. Mathis to the Giants. Cam Jurgens to the Falcons. Marcus Jones to the Eagles. Carson Strong to the Steelers. Now that brings us to 85. My guy's still there. Now, I'm banging my fist on the table. I want my guy Kyle Phillips. I need to fill that spot in the wide receiver room.
All right, so is it our turn to select?
It is. It's pick 85 here. The guys we have available before Kyle Phillips are linebacker Brian Asamoah out of Oklahoma, Brian Cook, safety out of Cincinnati, the two offensive linemen out of Arizona State, and Dominique Robinson Edge out of Miami.
The only argument that I'm gonna bring to the table is Cook out of Cincinnati. We do need a safety.
Ed, how do you feel about the youngster Cam Bynum that we already have on roster?
I feel good about Bynum, and I feel good about our safety room as a whole. This early, I think we do need to address it. I just feel like it's more than fair at this point to let you get your guy, Kev, and I'll stay out of your way.
Hey, sounds good to me. I like Cam as well. I would be comfortable with him being the starter next to Harrison Smith. But I'm also comfortable addressing that position later on in the draft with remaining 3 picks we do have. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get my guy.
Kevin, I just want to ask you quickly, how you planning to utilize Phillips?
Well, I don't think he's going to be a day one starter. I still think KJ has earned that spot to be that wide receiver 3. I think it's still the Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen show, obviously. But I think Kyle Phillips is that guy that's going to eventually come into that Adam Thielen role and assess that position. So that's mainly what I want to bring him in for. I wanted to get a receiver a little higher in the draft because I know Adam's coming towards the end of his career now. We're paying him a lot of money. So I think we do need to address somebody that's going to come in and fill that void that we're going to eventually have without Adam Thielen. So I think Kyle Phillips is that guy. It's not going to be this year, but definitely look for this guy to pop next year and the year following.
All right, let's do it.
Guy. All right, Kyle Phillips, wide receiver out of UCLA. We got him. I got my guy. Raiders on the clock. Cole Strange is off the board, which is another guy we could have went with there. We don't pick till 191, so we got a little ways to go. We can trade up if we want. I don't think there's anybody. Is there anybody on your guys' board that you think we need to get up and go for?
There's only one player that I would like to know if he's already been selected or at what point. Malcolm Rodriguez out of Oklahoma State.
Malcolm Rodriguez out of Oklahoma State.
Good linebacker.
Searching. I don't think I can search him yet. Just have to wait.
I just want to keep an eye on him and see if he happens to be available in our next pick.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on his name possibly coming up. We got damn near 80 picks till our next pick. But how are we feeling so far? Let's see if I can pull up our picks. It looks like I'm not a fan of this PFF.
I think both of you should feel pretty happy right now, aren't you?
Oh, I got my guy. I feel like our defense is set. And then I got my guy to fill that spot in the wide receiver room that I desperately needed. I do think we need to address this offensive line a little bit here, though. Although we do have some veterans still available in free agency. So.
Well, we did get Sailor, and I feel like, Kev, like you said earlier, and I agree with you that I think we need to get a safety at some point here before we end day 3.
Yeah.
But I think as a whole, I'll let you assess how you feel. Because at the end of the day, we've talked a lot of defense. And I'm a defensive guy, and I'll pound that table all day long. I feel like, as Quessie's preached all along here, collaboration, we got to be a unit. And that's going to help us win on Sundays throughout the season. So I'll let you guys really feel comfortable whatever you want to go with next here.
But Ed, I want to know how you feeling about the first three picks.
I'm excited. Corsi. I mean, we got Chanel, we got Booth. We're in a great spot here. You know, I think that all we need here is a little bit of depth in the safety position. We're in a great spot.
Yeah, I like where we're at here. I think we made a lot of smart moves. We didn't reach for anybody necessarily. I like what we got so far. Hey, we still got three more picks here.
We also got to keep an eye on those tight ends, Kevin. I don't know if there's anybody else left that you'd be interested in.
Yeah, we'll see who's available here. We're about 40 picks away, but we do have back-to-back picks coming up here. So we can take our tight end and we can take our other safety here if we need to. But other than that, we're sitting here and I think we're looking at best available. If there isn't a certain tight end that I like there or safety that.
Kev, if I can make a quick suggestion, aside from tight end, is there anything else you feel like we need to address on the offensive side of the ball?
I think it never hurts to look at another tackle.
Yeah, it never hurts for another tackle.
I really like safety out of Baylor, JT Woods, and I feel like I'm worried he ain't going to be there at 191.
Yeah.
It's something to think about.
I'm never opposed to taking a quarterback if one's available there that we like as well. I know, Quasi, you got a lot to say as far as the quarterback position goes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you right now, guys. I wouldn't worry too much about that because I think we're looking at bringing back Skye Moore from the USFL.
Oh man, I like that guy. Had a great game today.
He did.
Had a great game. But I don't know, man. We signed Sean Mannion for a reason. I think that it's a good way to go. Kirk's comfortable with Sean in there in his quarterback room. So
I think some competition. It's very healthy, and it could do wonders for Kirk.
Yeah, man, I'm all for that. But right now we got Sean in there. I know he's with the last regiment. People thought he was gonna be gone. Well, you thought wrong. He's back. So we'll see how the offseason goes. Though. Again, I'm not against drafting a young quarterback here. I know we still got Kellen Mond back there. I love Slaughter though. I'm a fan. Never rule out Sean Mannion though. Great name. All right, our back-to-back picks are up. And here we go here.
Is JT Woods available by chance?
Let me see if Woods is available. JT Woods is not available. Rick, you were asking about somebody as well. Not Rick, Quasi.
Yeah, no, I replaced Rick. Malcolm Rodriguez, Oklahoma State linebacker.
Rodriguez. I don't think he's there. Nope, he's not available.
I want to just wonder, Kev, who are the top safeties left on the board here?
Let me pull up the safety position. All right, safety would be Leon O'Neal out of Texas A&M, and Sterling Weatherford and Brad Hawkins would be our top three safeties available. Their rank is 206, 207, 197. Let's look at the tight end position.
Obviously, guys, these are developmental players, so you're looking at upside here.
There is a Connor Hayward, tight end from Michigan State, who I'm big on, good blocking tight end. I think would actually be a solid pick for us. Irv isn't the best blocking tight end. He's more of a guy that I'm planning on lining up out wide, taking advantage of safety corners, really using him as a hybrid type guy like Kelsey. So I need a big body tight end. I think Connor Hayward may be that guy.
From what I've seen on tape defensively, watching some Nevada tape, I became quite the, concerned about what Cole Turner could do at the NFL level and potentially being a guy who could be a real concern in the near future at tight end, and something that I feel like I wouldn't want to play against.
Okay, you said Cole Turner?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he may be available at 250. He may be available at 250 there. Now,
well, Kevin, if you're familiar with the Michigan State guy, Kevin.
What was that?
If you're familiar with the Michigan State guy.
I'm definitely familiar with the Michigan State guy, and I think he'll fit in well here. I think he's going to come in for one reason and one reason only, and that's the block. He can catch the ball immediately, but that I like Connor Hayward. I do. And I don't really see a guy right now in these back-to-back picks we should take outside of him. And, I mean, if we're being honest, I'm fine with taking two tight ends in this draft if Cole Turner is available at 250. If he's the best available at 250, let's grab him.
Well, obviously we need a blocking tight end. We know that that was Tyler Conklin. One of his best attributes. At some point, David Morgan here, and so we need somebody that is going to block. Not to say that Smith Jr. is not going to block, but we need somebody dedicated for the blocking scheme. So if that's the guy you think can do it, Kevin, I will go with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hayward here. We have a pick right now as well, so let's go Hayward now.
We got to get a safety here, guys. We got to get a safety.
Yeah, we just
our depth at our safety is not very strong.
I agree. I think we should go safety here. You got any word on Leon O'Neal, Ed?
I'm good with O'Neal or Weatherford personally. Okay. We could just go pure BPA, who's highest available, in O'Neal, and I'm good with that.
Okay, well let's pull up their scouting report here, see what we have on them. Okay, so for O'Neal, 6'1", 204 pounds. His highest graded games, PFF games, were 85 against Kent State, 84 against Mexico, 75 against Missouri. His lowest graded games were 36.9 against Ole Miss, 36 against Alabama, and 26 against Clemson. Looks like he shrinks to higher competition. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Let me look at the analysis. Doesn't look like we have anything. But his overall grade, PFF grade, is a 72, but it does look like he shrinks in its bigger competition. Let's look at Weatherford here.
I'm good with it. I'm good with the safety pick if that's what you guys want to do.
Okay, so Weatherford's a bigger safety, 6'4", 224, redshirt junior. So Weatherford's going to be the bigger guy. Are we looking for more of a bigger safety for your defense end, or do you want more of a smaller free safety type of guy?
I'll be honest, Kev. I am good with having maybe a little bit more in size. That's why I was open either way, because at the end of the day, these are day 3 process that we got to mold, and we got to hope to get the best out of.
Okay, so I think Weatherford might be the pick then. Get us a big, strong safety there. Play as a hybrid role.
I'm good with that.
All right, we're going Weatherford. All right, we got one more pick left. It's coming up in about 60 some odd picks, 50 some odd picks. So bear with us, guys. Stewart, tackle out of Michigan. forfeited pick from the New Orleans Saints.
Hey,
Jacoby McClain.
Kevin.
I can hear you.
All right, I'm gonna step away. I gotta go make a couple of calls and welcome Andrew Booth and Leo Chanel to the Minnesota Vikings organization. So you guys finish up the selections, and when you get to the last selection, if you are unsure on which way to go, and punter Matt Ariza from San Diego State still available, I would want you to consider it.
Yep, I already have him in mind here. I'm gonna look him up and see if he's gonna be available at that pick. So definitely, thank you, Quasi. We'll talk to you.
All right, you guys take care.
All right, you too.
Thanks, Quessy.
All right, it's down to us, man. Then we can wrap this thing up. Wrap it up. Sorry, about 30 picks away. I like where we're at here. I think we're looking at either if that tight end is still available there from Nevada, I think we take them, or if that punter. I think those are ideally the two guys we're looking at here. And the punter just came off the board. Areza to the Miami Dolphins. Leon O'Neal just came off the board. Let's see here. Away. See if our tight end Cole Turner just picked by the Washington Commanders. So I think we're going to be sitting here looking at best available. Just see who we got left.
You know, Ed said that he had to head out for a second, and you know, Wes wanted to join the party here quick. You know, we're boys from the Rams.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kevin. Just wondering, do you think that maybe we should look at getting a guy to add as our punt returner? Just a thought.
I was just thinking that as well, because I know Westbrook was around last season. So I know we didn't have him, but he's still available in free agency. If there's a guy there, I think we can take him. Is there anybody you had or Wes had in mind?
Honestly, not too sure, but off the top of my head. But if we look and if there's anything in the scouting report that says we could find one, it's just a thought.
All right. Well, best available here is Brock Purdy, quarterback out of Iowa State, who I actually like. I don't think we need a quarterback, but he would be best available there. Caleb Ellaby, quarterback out of Western Michigan. Josh Seals, guard out of Oklahoma State.
But Ed's got one. Ed just came back, and he's got a quick thing to add that he's quite a fan of Noah Ellis, the defensive tackle.
Noah Ellis?
Good. Noah Ellis, yeah, the really good run-stopping defensive tackle.
Yeah, we do need another run stopper in there outside of Dalvin Thomas. Let's see it. I mean, that may not be a bad pick there, man. I'm not opposed to that. 46 pounds. That may be the pick. Let's see if there's.
He doesn't bring us anything pass rushing wise, Kev. But at this point, I feel like if we can just get a guy that can crack the 53 and is purely a run stuffer, I mean, we take that all day.
Let's grab him. I'm convinced. Let's go. My tight end's not there. The punter's not there. We're going to go with Noah Ellis as tackle. So that will finish up our draft. The 2022 TPC, Mike. We come out of character now. We're good, Mike. We're going to let this draft finish up. I'm going to stop the screen share so you can just see our faces now. Woo! That was long. Now, imagine the first round. Sorry, James. I didn't get to see your comment. From the Illini. Didn't get to do that. Sorry about that. But Mike and Justin might be doing another mock draft. If not, we'll be on stage on Twitter talking about mock draft. a bunch of different prospects. But let me see if this draft is finished up. Here we go. Let me just share the here real quick so I can show you guys the final touches of our mock draft. Okay. There we go. It's grading our draft, so we're going to get grade and all that good stuff. No.
Just click the X and it'll pop up.
Do all that. It's lagging on us a little bit. But we had fun. Here we go. Here goes our. We got a B+ for our first trade there. Andrew Bruce was rated an A.
That's a
Leo
crazy
Chanel,
grade on Chanel. That's a
not a
crazy grade.
Yeah, we're not gonna look into the grades or anything, but it's always nice seeing an A next to your pick. Drake Jackson got an A there. Jamari Taylor got a B. My guy Kyle Phillips C-. My other guy Connor Hayward F. But overall grade, we got a B+ BFF. That's pretty good. It's passing. That's cool. But overall, guys, I know we're kind of short on people in here. It takes a long time, and I know a lot of people have Pistons fans. But everybody that's in here, how would you grade the TPC 2022 mock drafts? Andrew Booth Jr. after the trade with the New England Patriots. Onto Leo Chanel, Drake Jackson, Jamari Taylor, Kyle Phillips, Connor Hayward, and Sterling Rutherford, ending it with Noah Ellis. So go ahead and grade us, guys. We'll throw up your grade if you comment. But I'll ask you, Mike, how you feeling about this draft? Do you think we knocked it out the park? You think it deserves a B+? You think it deserves better than a B+? Did we turn the franchise around?
I thought the more and more I looked into this draft, I became quite the fan of Jamari Sailor. And I'll be honest, I like this draft a lot. I think Sailor, Jackson, Booth, and Chanel would be an outstanding start to the draft. Like, we can get a guy in, like, I really like Sailor because he's a guy, knock on wood, you don't want that to happen. But if you need a tackle in a pinch, I think he's actually more talented personally than any other swing tackle we have on the team. He's so big.
A better version of Rashad Hill in a sense.
Yeah, you don't want him starting, and I agree with PFF that he's a better interior offensive lineman. But if you need a player in a pinch,
he can.
You know, you never want injuries to happen. But we have so much depth at guard that if you need to finish a fourth quarter and you're up, 3, you can throw in Wyatt Davis, Jesse Davis, potentially. And say Sailor won the job, push Sailor to, right tackle or left tackle for the end of the game. And because he's so big and strong, you'd feel confident that he would do a very solid job because he's played against top talent at tackle. I've seen his tape against Alabama as a tackle. And I agree that he is probably better interior-wise because he's a little bit more strong than he is quick. And interior, you don't have to worry about speed as much. You just got to grab a hold. But to end the game, he would bring a lot of flexibility. Like, I love the idea that he could actually play all 5 positions. Like, that's extremely rare to get.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with him is his strength is pass protection. And that's obviously something we need. One pick I'm not a fan of is the Chanel pick. I'm not big at taking a linebacker that high in the draft. We got Kendricks, we got Phillip, we got Zadarius. So, and then I like Lynch as well. I think Lynch actually balled out when he had the opportunity to last year. So, and Troy Dye as well. So you got guys that you want to develop back there. I don't think we actually traded up. We traded up with the intention of drafting Mafe, and then realized Mafe had a ways to go before being drafted. And got the linebacker. Again,
I wouldn't be shocked if Chanel goes in the first round. He's a really talented player. if he goes in day 2, he's not going to go high or low.
I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm saying that I don't feel we need to take a linebacker.
That's fair.
High.
That's fair.
I know, like, I'm probably the one guy that's not completely against the best player available, but I'm more leaning towards the side of let's get a guy that's going to help our team out. And I get everybody wanting to draft guys that, it's going to help this contract and that contract down the line. And that's how GMs actually think. So I'm not sitting here saying I know better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But just personally, I want a guy that's going to come in and going to make a difference. If you're drafted in the first, second, third round, give or take, I want you to come in and make a difference the upcoming season. So
yeah, if I was not Ed Bonito in our mock draft, I definitely would have been open to Skye Moore too. But I like Chanel a lot as well. Like I think that the Vikings, if they trade down in the first round, could definitely move up in the second round. It wouldn't shock me at all. And it would be a good idea to think about because you can go and get 2 quality plug-and-play players instead of waiting till 46. It's something that I feel like we should do. Like when you're at the draft, I hope they attack the board aggressively and don't just sit and pick because I like the idea of trading down in the first round if Sauce and Stingley aren't there, and I don't think they will be. And honestly, as the process has gone on, I've thought about this a lot, and I think I'd rather have Booth in a trade down than actually taking Hamilton at 12 based on positional value and what we need.
I'm there with you. The longer this draft process goes on, the more and more I'm out on Hamilton. And again, that's not me saying Hamilton isn't a great player. I think he's going to be a really, really good player at the next level. But my issue with that is if we do draft him, he's kind of like a bigger Harrison Smith. You're kind of drafting the same guy, so you are in a sense drafting Harrison Smith's replacement, but he's not a guy that you're going to play alongside Harrison Smith. You want a guy that's going to play along Harrison Smith that can actually cover. And I'm not saying Hamilton can, but he's not necessarily a cover safety. He's a guy that's going to come up in the box and make those tackles at the line of scrimmage. He's kind of one of those hybrid guys. Like Harrison Smith is. But Harrison, I feel, is a little bit better at coverage. But taking a safety that high at 12, I don't think it's a good idea. The guy's extremely talented. Extremely. And if we had the need of that type of safety, then I wouldn't think twice of taking him at 12. But it's where do you put him? How do you use him when you already got Harrison Smith on your team? So I'm out at taking Hamilton at 12.
And I thought about this too. Like you even think about the best safeties to go in the last 10 plus years. The only one I could think of that actually went in the top 10 was Jamal Adams. Like people forget Derwin James, who's been a superstar safety in the league, went, I believe it was 17th, funny enough, to the he's in the teens though.
Injured every year it seems like.
Yeah.
So
and it's not worth it.
I'm out.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, if we were to trade back, like the way we did it, like you said, we traded back with New England, got to the 21st pick. I feel like that is how this draft is probably going to go. I think we're going to trade back. I really do.
Oh, go ahead. No, I'll let you finish.
Unless, and again, I know that this is no like breaking news or anything, but I think we can also trade up. I think there's a big possibility that we can trade up in this draft and draft either Stingley or Sauce. Because if Sauce is still available at 8, maybe 9,
I would agree.
Then I think Quasey says, you know what, we got to at least make the call. We got an obvious need. There's an obvious shutdown corner there, or possibly 2 just sitting there waiting for us. Let's see if we can grab this 8th pick. Because I think the 9th pick is Seattle, and Seattle's dead set on we need defensive backs. So they're taking whatever top corner is available there. So if you're able to trade at 8 with, I think it's one of the
Atlanta.
It's Atlanta, is it? I was completely wrong. So if you're able to trade up with Atlanta, that would be a perfect spot. If you can get Sauce and barely not give up that much draft compensation with that 12th pick, then that's a win. And I think that's a huge possibility. I think we definitely entertain trading him.
No, I agree. I was like, if we give up 12, 77, and one of those 3 6s, say the worst one at 192, yeah, because we need to get a bona fide cornerback by the end of this class. And though I don't hate the idea of taking a corner at 46, it's a risk. And you're hoping a Kyler Gordon's there, you're hoping a Roger McCreary's there at Auburn, but you're not assured of that. And we've been burnt before by being too cute. I'd rather. Yeah. I'm not as high on trading up for Stingley personally. I like Sauce a lot more as the process has gone on. It's like Stingley, his best tape is in 2019. Like, that is terrifying for a guy that you're taking in the top 10. That's so many years ago now. Like, that's so rare. That's almost like a unicorn type scenario.
The thing is if he falls to 12, that will be the reason why he falls to 12.
Agreed.
So now that gets you second guessing, like, oh, well, wait a minute. You know, his best tape wasn't, since 2019. There's a reason why he dropped 12. He was injured. He had this, he had that. So then you start second guessing yourself. So we have so many options here, and it feels like we're just on like the outside of where we need to be to grab the guy that we want. So that's why I think straight up.
Can I make a quick scenario?
Just go ahead, Mike.
I know we've went back and forth on this, and you probably know where I'm going here. But Garrett Wilson at 12, out of Ohio State. Yes, please. Yes.
Man, okay, so I think people misinterpret, like, they think I hate, like, taking receivers. Because I'll be honest, and I'll probably hear this till the day I die or stop doing this stuff. When we drafted Justin Jefferson, I wasn't upset. I didn't like the pick. I didn't like it because I felt like that was a deep wide receiver class, and we could have got Tyler Johnson in the 4th round, who obviously isn't the level of Justin Jefferson. And that was obviously a terrible, terrible take on my part. And I could be wrong about this as well. But I don't think we're in a position where we draft a wide receiver in the 1st round. And I get the people saying, oh, well, Adam Thielen, he's coming towards, the end of his career. He's getting older. He's getting expensive. But you can address that with getting a receiver later on in the draft that you can develop while Adam Thielen is still doing it today. Where a guy can come in and build those shoes. And granted, more than likely, he's not going to be Adam Thielen. I don't think whoever we bring in will be Adam Thielen because there's so much sentimental value for Vikings fans with Adam Thielen. So bringing another guy in, spending a 1st-round pick on a guy that's going to be at best your wide receiver 3 this year. If you're spending a 1st-round draft pick on somebody, and we're going into the season as, what did they say, a competitive rebuild, or we're still feel like we're a playoff team, which I think we do. We have the talent, and if what was wrong with this team that we were saying what was wrong with the team last year, the coaching, the leadership, we changed that. If that's what was wrong with this team, and we changed the leadership, then we should see a better team this year. That means we should see a playoff team. That means I want something on the field that is going to make a difference if we're going to spend a 1st-round pick on them. Now, if we trade that, get a guy late in the 1st round and it be a Wilson or it be a Olave, okay, I'm not as
okay.
But spending a 1st-round pick for a guy that's going to be your wide receiver 4, wide receiver 3 at best, I don't think is a very good idea.
For me, the thing that it is it's 2 things. We're going to play so many 3 wide sets that I don't think it'll almost matter. And second off, the reason why I am more open to this than I initially was at the beginning of the process is they've addressed a lot of needs where I was concerned in free agency. They got the edge to Darius Smith. They got Harrison Phillips, defensive tackle. They got Jordan Hicks, the linebacker. They got the 2 guards and Jesse Davis and Chris Reed. I almost feel like the chance to get a Garrett Wilson could make this offense a top 5 offense. And if you do that, you don't need an elite. You just need a top 20 defense, and you're going to win a ton of games. That's my thing. And Thielen, if he gets hurt, and I hope not, but knock on wood, but he's been hurt the last few years. And I watched, obviously every game, and you saw the drop off at the wide receiver 2 position where KJ had to go in. If you can go Jefferson, Wilson, Osborne, if Thielen was get injured, which you never want, I hope that does not happen, of course. But if it did, you've got a phenomenal security blanket, and it's almost like you wouldn't miss a step. Like that's where it's really attracted to me. But
it makes complete sense. And by me arguing this, it's not me saying it's a bad idea, because it's a legitimate idea. And what scares me the most is that I wouldn't be surprised if you take a receiver at 12. And that's what makes me like, I hope you don't take a receiver at 12. I've been saying so much crap about, no way, don't take a receiver at 12. That would be stupid. Don't do it. And I just have a feeling that the way it's looking, those top 2 corners are going to be gone. If we're not sold on McDuffie, and to be honest with you, I don't think edge is high as a need is what people really are making it out for this team.
I agree.
First round pick. I think wide receiver is actually a legitimate option, not in my eyes, but for Kevin O'Connell and Quasi, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't.
So,
and I wouldn't be mad
if the camera was turned on you, SK, and we went receiver at 12. Would you have a little bit of like the New York Jet fans in you, where you have like a face palm and you'll be a little annoyed, or you'll be happy? Like how do you feel?
It would kind of just be a shake my head, like, God, like, damn it, like we did it. We really went out and drafted a damn receiver. But again, it all depends who's on the board and if we even have an offer to trade back. Because there may not even be an offer to trade back to where you're stuck at 12. There's no choice but to go best player available or to take that wide receiver. So there's context to it. I know there's a lot that goes on, but trade up and get your corner, damn it.
I'm with you. I've thought about this. If we can get to 8, and I've heard a lot of buzz that Stingley might go in the top 3. If that actually happens, and New York, the 2 New York teams don't take Sauce at 4, 5, or 7, and he's there at 8, Sauce, you absolutely call up Atlanta and get it done.
Got to get it done. I mean, we're both on the same page there, and we're gonna wrap it up. Right.
Can I ask you one last question? I have to bring him up because he's been talked about all draft process. If we traded down and took Tyler Linderbaum out of Iowa, how would you feel about that? Honestly,
I'm so done with taking offensive linemen in the first round. I'm done.
That's fair.
I don't feel it's that big of a need anymore. Unless we trade back and we get some like crazy like compensation back, which is possible. If it's a quarterback needy team where they feel like we need to go up and get this quarterback, we could really get some assets in the draft. But I want no parts of a center in the first round. No parts.
That's fair.
I'd rather have a receiver before center.
There you go.
I'll say that. But we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you for everybody tuning in. I know it's a long process. People's attention span is very, very small. But we do appreciate you guys for hanging around with us. Be sure to tune in Thursday for our live draft coverage. Mike and Justin will be bringing in the pre-draft festivities. I think Mike might bring it in up to our pick, right? Or at the beginning of the draft.
I'll be in at some process there. But I will be there talking about the pick at some point.
Yeah, so Mike will be in and out. Justin will be the host this year because unfortunately, I'll be at the draft. So I'm going to be in and out of the stream live from the draft. It's going to be really loud, but I'm going to make sure to bring in the Minnesota Vikings pick live with you guys. So you can bring in it with you. So Rick will be at the Vikings draft party at US Bank Stadium. He will also be bouncing in and out of the stream, so you'll get a little party in there as well. So be sure to tune in to that, guys. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Yep.
On Thursday, it looks like they'll be doing the pre-draft podcast. So be sure to tune in for that, guys. Thank you for tuning in, not only on Facebook, but as well on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at the Purple Book One, and as well on Facebook. So thank you, guys. It's SK, Mike Castellino.
SKOL'd.